You scroll endlessly, you chase validation, you fear rejection, you panic about money, status, relationships, the future, and yet you call yourself free. But what if I told you that over 2,300 years ago, a shipwrecked merchant lost everything and discovered a philosophy so dangerous, so emotionally invincible, that it built the foundation of Stoicism itself? This is the story and the uncompromising philosophy of Zeno of Citium. And today, we are not romanticizing him. We are confronting him. Because Zeno does not care about your comfort, he cares about your character. Zeno of Citium was not born a philosopher. He was a merchant from Cyprus, wealthy, successful, comfortable. Then one day, his ship sank. Everything gone. Fortune erased. Imagine that in modern terms. You build a business for 10 years. It collapses. Your crypto portfolio crashes to zero. You get publicly canceled. Your relationship ends overnight. Your job disappears. Most people break. Zeno awakened. He walked into a bookstore in Athens and read about Socrates. He asked the shopkeeper, "Where can I find a man like this?" He was pointed to a cynic philosopher walking nearby. Zeno followed him, from wealth to wandering, from comfort to discipline, from status to philosophy. This was the birth of Stoicism. And here is the first uncomfortable truth Zeno teaches. Misfortune is not your enemy. Your judgment about it is. Zeno did not curse the sea. He did not blame fate. He did not spiral into victimhood. He reframed. And that is the core of his philosophy. It is not events that disturb us. It is our interpretation of them. You think your anxiety comes from your boss. You think your insecurity comes from social media. You think your anger comes from your partner. Zeno would look at you and say, "No, it comes from you. Your opinions, your attachments, your false beliefs about what is good and what is bad." This is radical personal responsibility. In modern life, imagine this. You post something online. It gets negative comments. Immediately, your mind creates a story. They hate me. I'm stupid. I shouldn't have posted. But what actually happened? Pixels changed on a screen. That's it. Your suffering was manufactured internally. Zeno's philosophy forces you to separate reality from interpretation. Now, let's go deeper. Zeno's most revolutionary concept was this: virtue is the only good. Not money, not fame, not pleasure, not reputation, not even health, only virtue. And virtue, for Zeno, meant living in accordance with reason and nature. Now pause. In today's world, this sounds almost insane, because modern society worships outcomes. We measure worth by followers, income, physique, influence. Zeno would call that slavery. Because if your happiness depends on things outside your control, you are not powerful. You are fragile. Let's break this down in modern terms. You work hard, you apply for a promotion, you don't get it. If you believe the promotion is good in itself, you suffer. But if you believe that acting with integrity, discipline, courage, and rationality is the only true good, then the outcome becomes irrelevant. You cannot control whether they choose you. You can control whether you prepared. You can control whether you acted professionally. You can control your response. That is Stoic freedom. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most people don't want this freedom. They want control over outcomes. Zeno says that's impossible. Instead, control your character. Now let's confront another powerful concept from Zeno: living in accordance with nature. This is widely misunderstood. It does not mean living primitively. It does not mean rejecting technology. It does not mean hugging trees and escaping society. It means living in alignment with human nature, which is rational, social, and moral. Zeno believed humans are rational beings designed to use reason as their highest faculty. But look at modern life. We are driven by impulse. We react emotionally. We consume mindlessly. We chase stimulation. We live like animals with Wi-Fi. Zeno would say, you are betraying your nature. To live according to nature means to pause before reacting, to question your impulses, to train your mind to respond with clarity instead of chaos. Imagine this real-life situation. Someone insults you publicly. Your natural impulse? Attack back, defend ego, escalate. But Zeno would ask, is anger rational? Does this insult damage your virtue, or only your pride? If someone calls you incompetent, and it's false, why be disturbed? If it's true, then correct it. Either way, anger is irrational. This level of mental discipline is terrifying to most people, because it removes drama, it removes ego, it removes the emotional chaos people secretly enjoy. Now let's talk about something even more radical in Zeno's teaching: indifference. Zeno categorized everything outside virtue as indifferent. Wealth, indifferent. Health, indifferent. Reputation, indifferent. Even life and death, indifferent. Now, before you misunderstand this, he did not say they have no value. He said they are not morally good or bad in themselves. This changes everything. Because modern culture tells you success equals good, failure equals bad, beauty equals good, aging equals bad. Zeno dismantles this illusion. Imagine losing your job. Modern narrative, disaster. Zeno's lens, opportunity to practice resilience, courage, and wisdom. Imagine gaining sudden wealth. Modern narrative, you won. Zeno's lens, a test of character. Will you remain disciplined or become corrupted? This is why Stoicism produces powerful individuals. It makes you immune to emotional manipulation. If praise does not elevate you, and criticism does not crush you, if wealth does not inflate you, and loss does not break you, you become unshakable. Now let's confront another major concept in Zeno's philosophy: apatheia. This word is often misunderstood as apathy. It is not emotional numbness. It is freedom from destructive passions. Zeno believed passions like uncontrolled anger, fear, envy, and excessive desire were judgments gone wrong. They are based on false beliefs. For example, fear of losing status comes from believing status is good. Jealousy comes from believing possession equals worth. Anxiety comes from believing the future must go your way. Modern example: you see your friend buying a luxury car. You feel behind in life. You spiral into self-doubt. Why? Because you believe external success defines your value. Zeno would dismantle that belief. Your worth lies in virtue, not comparison. Now let's get even more daring. Zeno also believed in cosmopolitanism, the idea that we are citizens of the world. In a time of city-states and tribal identity, this was revolutionary. He argued that all humans share rationality and are interconnected. Today, we live in a hyper-connected digital world, yet we are divided by politics, identity, ideology. Zeno would say, you are focusing on surface differences instead of shared rational nature. Imagine applying this today. Instead of reacting to someone's political post with rage, you ask, what belief system led them there? What fear drives this opinion? That is rational engagement. That is Stoic strength, not emotional outrage. Now let's confront the final and perhaps most uncomfortable truth from Zeno. You are responsible for your inner world, completely. Not your parents, not society, not trauma, not circumstances. You may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you shape your character from it. This is not soft philosophy. This is not motivational fluff. This is psychological warfare against your own weakness. In modern life, imagine this. You wake up tired. You don't feel motivated. You want comfort. Zeno would not care about your feelings. He would ask, what is the rational action right now? If training your body is rational, you train. If working on your craft is rational, you work. If having a difficult conversation is rational, you do it. Feelings are not commanders. Reason is. And here is why this philosophy is so rare today. Because it demands self-confrontation. It strips away excuses. It destroys victim mentality. It makes you face your own irrational beliefs. Most people would rather change the world than change their mind. Zeno teaches the opposite. Master the mind. The world becomes secondary. Now imagine living like this consistently. You lose money, calm. You gain money, disciplined. You are insulted, unmoved. You are praised, unaffected. You face hardship, resilient. You face comfort, restrained. That is Stoic sovereignty. And understand this clearly. Zeno did not create this philosophy to help you feel better. He created it to make you better. There is a difference. Feeling better is temporary. Being better is transformation. And in a world addicted to emotional validation, distraction, outrage, and comfort, Zeno's philosophy is rebellious. It is confrontational. It is dangerous. Because if you truly internalize it, you cannot be manipulated by trends, fear-based media, or social pressure. You become governed by reason, and that is rare power. So here is your challenge. The next time something bad happens, pause. Ask, is this truly bad? Or is my judgment labeling it that way? The next time you feel envy, pause. Ask, what belief is creating this emotion? The next time you fear loss, pause. Ask, what am I clinging to that is outside my control? This is how Zeno would train you, not with affirmations, but with interrogation. Interrogate your beliefs, interrogate your impulses, interrogate your ego, and slowly you will notice something terrifying and liberating. Nothing outside you has power over you, unless you grant it. If this philosophy hit you hard, good. It's supposed to. Because Stoicism is not passive. It is not aesthetic quotes. It is not social media wisdom. It is inner domination. If you want more deep, unapologetic breakdowns of Stoic philosophy, the kind that transforms you, not comforts you, subscribe now to Stoic Gateway. And don't stop here. Watch the next video where we break down Marcus Aurelius and how a Roman emperor used these same principles to control an empire and himself. Because learning Stoicism is interesting, living it is power. This is Stoic Gateway, and your transformation has only just begun.